Okay. Thank you for everybody coming in the building. This gonna be just another one. Ain't nothing changed. Still the same. Excuse me. Now what I really want to talk about today is different things. But what I really want to get to is people living their individual lives and not living how people want you to live, or not living how people tell you to live. Because we're in a world where people, if you stand alone or you stand by yourself or you think by yourself, you are joked on, you are clowned on. People frown upon you for being with your own mind state, to think alone. And me, I'm a ride with the people that want to think alone, think for themselves. I can't ride for the people that want to be like the crowd or want to be like everybody else. You're going to have to understand that the same people that you want to be like, that everybody else don't care about you. Because I always keep thinking about it almost every day. And when I look at these people that they say they love, these rappers, and two people in the past, what, you can add it up, if I estimate it in my mind, Nipsey Hussle and Pop Smoke. They died. They passed away. They left this earth, but when you look at their lives, yeah, they maybe was in a gang, but I didn't look at that. I looked at Pop Smoke as an individual where the last person that we heard captivate New York like that with a voice like that was 50 Cent, Jada Kiss, then DMX. You know, like, I looked at Pop Smoke artistry of how he made songs. I didn't care about like his personal life, of what he went through in his personal life. I cared about what he did as a musician. You know, because when you get into these people's personal lives, you'll see that a lot of people, they don't care. They may appear to care, but they don't care. Now, when I looked at the different melodies that Pop Smoke had, and he used his singing a little bit with his rapping on different beats. His voice was different, you know, and if you ask me straight up, he had an ear for the music, you know? He had an ear for the music, and a lot of people had an ear for the music, you know? LIP to that young man, for real. Nipsey, yeah, he maybe wasn't like lyrical as Jada or something, but what he had was, he motivated. As he said, Tupac of his generation, He surely was. And him saying that, maybe a lot of people hated him for saying that, but truly, he was. Because he spoke not about certain things that happen in our community, but he spoke a different tone. Okay? And one thing that I always respect about Nipsey, he had a Malcolm X medallion, you know? And I respect him for that. And he knew about his culture and his people. You know, he didn't shy away from being a black king. And he gave inspiration to a lot of young women and men and the same people his age. So I respect Nipsey for that. You know, he made good music. He made music you could listen to all day. I used to love a lot of his mixtapes. I still got some of them till this day. The CD. You know, hard copy CD. And that's another thing, you know, like, I could say I wish Pop Smoke and Nipsey was alive, but in the order of things in this universe, I have no say in that. I have no say in how things will turn out or how things may go. But I know with a lot of us in this world, we could have say together. Because a lot of things in the world, I'm going to keep saying it, we could change. The people have power. The people is power. The unity is power. But people don't want to do that. People want to be in their individual greed. And this is why I'm saying where you make sure you take care of yourself and you can make sure somebody else okay and many others is okay. Because the same that you're doing for yourself, they do for them. And we carry on the energy. You keep on carrying on the energy. Because that's why I'm making most of these posts, these videos. Marissa, bless up to you, sister. Much love to you and your family. Much love to you and your family. And thank you for being in the building. Thank you. You know, you can help you and others. You know, you make yourself better, you make others better, and we carry that energy on. None of us may never be perfect, but little things really count. Little things matter, you know? And if I want to make it sound even better, little things add up to big things. So with one person helping the other person and two people helping four people and four people helping 8 people and 8 people helping 16 people and keep on going and spread that around the world. You know, that's what we need. Because you see how the world going right now where everybody is searching for something. Some may know what they're searching for, some may not know what they're searching for. But everybody is searching for something. You know? And Some people are searching for themselves in a world full of people. And this is why you really have to give people time, because just because you could catch something quick or you could learn things quick, we all ain't the same. Somebody may learn something different, much slower than you. Because you learn it faster, don't mean that you're better than that person. And that's another thing we have to stop doing in the world, is downing each other because you can learn something faster than somebody, so you thinking that you better than that person. No. Because at the end of the day, you could have probably have a business before somebody, and their business was going a good month. And you had a business for a year. But the way you treat your customers and your employees, your business ended up shutting down in a year and 1 month. And while that person with that small business that just started in a month, they try their best to treat their customers, their workers correctly. And that business grow 20 years later and they pass that on. You know? It's all how you act and how you treat people in this world a lot, man. The energy that you give, it will come back to you. Or the energy that you give, it will mess somebody's life up. It will mess somebody's day up. What you do will affect others and yourself. So just imagine if we do stuff good with each other around the world, how it would affect all of us. And really helping each other and really caring for each other. And not laughing at each other, because I'm going to keep on saying it. For the people that think downing people is tough or bravado or it's something, that joint is soft and it makes you look like a clown. And I don't care if you're a female or a male. If you think teasing people or downing people is something good or it makes you look good, I will be the first one and of many to tell you, you look soft and it shows that you have no sense. Because we can't be living in a world where we letting people get away with nonsense. And parading nonsense and giving nonsense a champion trophy. For people that's really out here fighting and really out here living life. You ignore them, you put them on the wayside. Nah, I'm never for that. Never celebrate nonsense and leave real things behind. And then you ask why the world got problems. That's just a percentage. That's not all of it, but that's a percentage when you turn a blind eye to nonsense and you just let nonsense fly around the world. But when real stuff is going on, everybody ignores it. For the simple fact of, when you look at it, why does negative energy on the internet get more attention than people talking real stuff? But then we all complain about problems in the world. But we don't see that we are making the problems. And that's one thing why I don't like hypocrites. You can hate something, but you are the main cause of it. You could hate something, but you do it all the time. Tell you, the human mentality. Such a sick place. Sick place. For real. I always tell people, man, don't matter how much you living in this life. No matter how much you go through, whether it's good or bad. You're gonna always be in a situation and you're gonna always be thinking, you're gonna always be in haste, you're gonna always wonder why. Because if a human being don't find their soul and understand their soul and understand their mind and their heart, You're gonna always see everything in life as a problem, and you will never find a solution. You won't find a solution because you would even make solutions problems. You'll turn good things into bad things. But no, people that overstand, they'll take bad things in their lives and other lives and they'll turn it good. They'll turn a negative day into a positive day. Or somebody that you knew having a bad day, you brighten their day up. You help them out. Make them feel better. You know? That don't cost no money. That don't cost nothing at all. That's free. That's free. Being yourself is free, but trying to be like others and wanting to be like others and wanting to be something that you're not, it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you. And it's gonna be a pretty penny. It's gonna be a pretty penny. You know, I watch life change so much, man. I watch people change so much. I watch money change people. I watch materialistic things change people. And when it was all gone, it was back down to ground zero. And I'm going to keep on saying this. Once you don't know yourself, SELF, once you don't know that, it's going to be problems with everything. For real, because people really playing games with this spiritual world, and they really playing games with this world, you know, acting like the spiritual world ain't help people really live life for real. Okay? And not live in no confusion where they want all of us to live in. All of this confusion is just confusion to be confusion. They don't want your mind balanced. But you have to get yourself balanced. You have to know where your heart is. Know where your mind is. And know where your soul is. And balance all three of them. With the physical body that you have. The whole temple. Everything in that temple is yours. Everything in that temple you own. It's like when you change around your house. Changing around your attitude and how you live sometimes. That's changing around your temple. Or whatever you want to call your body, your mansion, your vessel, your vehicle. Okay? You clean your car sometimes, right? You clean your truck. You clean your house, right? It's the same way with the body. Clean it. Because that's your temple. You live there. You know, you live there. You the only one that lived there. You the only one that got the key to that castle. Nowadays, people are trying to come and steal people's keys, but no. That's where we have to keep people whole. Make sure people be themselves. Don't let nobody take your joy. Don't let nobody take your happiness. Don't let nobody try to sell you a dream. Don't let nobody make you sell yourself for money or anything in this world. Because you are priceless. It ain't a price that could amount to you. Okay? It ain't. Because humans will make money for value. But as we see, what money done to humans and what humans do for money, many things that's unhuman. And that's a word that the humans made, right? Unhuman, right? But that's how some of them act. Unhuman. This is why I tell you, when you take it back from all the way, what? I give it a landmark where I will say from 200,000 years to 1,000,000 years ago, where they found the first human in Ethiopia, a lady. Now, it wasn't evil brought back then in that lady, you know? But you bring it all the way till now in what we call modern day. It's evil. All spread it out on the earth. Where if people want to keep on playing with the universe and how this all started, that's all we're going to get is a ball of confusion, because the ones that's supposed to be the so-called teachers teach the people trickery and lies, you know? Teach the people trickery and lies, and I ain't for it. I ain't for you lying to the people. Telling people they came from monkeys. Where? Which part? Where at? How? Because the last time I checked, in real studies, the closest thing ever in human history to monkeys was things that came from the Caucasus Mountains. Neanderthals. You know, like, it's so funny how other people really throw their dirty lives on other people, you know? And make people believe that they are them. That's why I say, my people, don't call yourself savages, man. These people been savages before the word ever existed in life. Okay? They've been crawling on all fours when we taught them how to stand upright on two legs. And this is why I take stuff like this personal. Because I will never let the Caucasian man or woman act like they taught us in this world. We taught y'all. And then you turned it all around. I don't go for the nonsense. And I don't go for the games. And I don't go for the trickery in life and history. I don't go for it. Because it's written plain sight right there. It's for all of us to see. Whether you put it in your books, whether you make it lies or whatever, it's all written right there. And you can just tell it's a lie. And you know it's a lie. And you want people to respect that? You want people to like that? No. Y'all are the warmongers. Y'all are the real savages. And as I said, man, WWS, you tried for a very long time to separate and starve the people. But no. The people will come together as one. Now, I I'm gonna leave that alone for now, cause sometimes I be really feel like I'm picking on them, but I ain't taking my foot off their neck. I want to talk about my Knicks, and I'm gonna try my best to be nice here when I talk about the Knicks, cause in basketball world, yes, I am upset at the nonsense that the Knicks did in firing Tom Thibodeau. I don't care how no Knicks fan put it, or no sports fan, or any supporter, because this was a dirty deal. I really think, and I see that he could make us go to the NBA Finals if you gave him just one more year. I could understand if you fired him next year, but we got to the Eastern Conference Finals, and yeah, we got to really practice this off season. We have to really get things together. One thing I would like to see is the bench really score, because Landry Shamet, Deuce McBride, those are two of my favorite players off the bench. Dylan Wright, Precious Achua, like, we got a team. I'm not going to say, like, yeah, this and that. Like, nah, man, we got a team. And to be honest with you, I have to check out if Precious Achua going to be on the team next year anyway, because I have to see everybody that's going to be on the official Knicks roster for next season, because it's going to be a shake-up in the bench, and I hope we shake up the starting lineup, because for a year and a half, yes, I've been upset at Jalen Brunson point guard play. And I may sound crazy to my own self saying this, but I'm going to give it 40 games next season, and I'm going to watch how he run the point guard position. And by game 39 to number 40, we all in the world going to see, like, what's going to happen when we go into the playoffs after game 41. Because plain and simple, he needs to run the point guard position. If we need you to score, Jalen Brunson, we need you to score. But that's not what we need, because we're paying Mikal Bridges over $100 million. OG, you're getting paid over $200 million. Cat, I could estimate this, but I don't know the official number, but I know he's getting paid over $70 million. We have players that are getting paid a lot of money, so it ain't up to Jalen Brunson only to say this is all we got. No, what you paying them other players for? Yeah, we paying OG and Mikal Bridges for that money for some of it is for defense, but they could play offense too, because one thing that I don't like with people saying that, oh, Mikal Bridges ain't a player. Well, last time I checked, when you get on the basketball court, man, like, you're supposed to play basketball. Plain and simple. Like, he's a basketball player, from when he came in the NBA, whether it was on the Nets or whether it was on the Phoenix Suns. I am tired of people judging people in crazy ways of where they're saying how these people could play. This the NBA. This ain't no softball. Okay, like, yes, the NBA has changed, but once you get on that court, everybody got a chance to score. Everybody got a chance to be as man on man, as woman on woman. It ain't no soft playing, so he needs to step up next season. OG, you need to, like, really score 20 points a game next season. Jalen Brunson, you need to drop your joint down to 15 points, and 10 assists. Like 5 rebounds, maybe, or should I drop it under 4? That'd be good. And that's good stats right there. You don't got to be over 25 points, and you got 3 assists and 2 rebounds, and we lost the game. Like, nah, we don't need that in New York right now. We don't need that in the Knicks. And Josh Hart, let me say this about Josh Hart, because you one of my boys on the Knicks. You one of my boys. You one of my players on the Knicks. You play hard. You're a good player. But I hope this all season you really work on your free throws and you work on your 3-point shot, and work on scoring more, man, because you're an NBA player. You didn't get all the way to the NBA just to be passing the ball as well. If you do sometimes, as you go lane to lane. You go from one line straight down, and you do, but you take it coast to coast many games sometimes, but people need to see more of that of you. Okay? You're a player. You're a basketball player. Deuce, you need to score more too as well, man. I'm not taking it lightly on the Knicks, man. We need to step up. Deuce, you need to score more. Okay? You need to score more. I ain't gonna even get mad at Mitch. I ain't mad at Mitch. Because Mitchell Robinson came back from his injury and he played. He played. He played for the Knicks, He played hard, and I respect that. He played all through the playoffs, Played good. And we needed his defense. The Knicks needed Mitchell Robinson defense, and long as he's on the New York Knicks, the Knicks will need Mitchell Robinson defense, and they will need him on the court as a player. Because he's a player. He's a defensive player. Yeah, he may not be like, some of the other centers in the NBA of being an offensive juggernaut, but he's good with us how he play. Cat. I don't care what nobody say. Cat needs to ball out next season. Keep on, because what is it? Last year, Cat averaged like a not a triple-double, excuse me. Sorry for saying that, excuse me, people. A double-double, 20 and 10. That was easy for Cat. Cat just needs to ball out next year. Ball out next season. You are a good basketball player. I ain't gonna get on you. You do complain too much sometimes with fouls and all that, and you do make some crazy fouls, on certain other players on other teams, and you don't need to do that, One thing I will say about Cat that he needs to learn with defense, he needs to learn how to play defense, okay? And one thing they used to teach us when we was kids, get in a defensive stance, make sure your feet is planted good, have your hands open, your eyes open, and make sure you moving left to right, up and down correctly, okay? And I don't really know if that's the thing about what I say, I don't see a lot of people nowadays really making the game evolve in that part, because I remember when I ain't gonna lie, I ain't like defense as a kid, but I ain't gonna make you really come past me, it's gonna be like a steal. But I remember I cared about offense. I was on I love to score. You feel me? I love basketball, so I love to score. I used to that used to drive me playing basketball, scoring. I loved it. I love offense. But I had to learn. That, yeah, defense gonna help you too. Because This is the crazy thing I had to learn, like the more defense I play is the more offense I'm gonna get, you know? So, like, we need to be more defensive minded next year where I'm talking about grit and grind Knicks, okay? Like lock people down for like a quarter or a whole half or the whole game. Like St. Patrick Ewing and, Larry Johnson. This ain't Spreewell and Allen Houston and Chris Childs and Charlie Ward. This ain't none of them boys, no more. This ain't the old Knicks. This ain't, Mark Jackson and them. This ain't none of the old Knicks. This ain't Melo. None of them. Omari. This ain't none of them. Even Amon Shepard, you're a Knick for life too, Like, this ain't none of the old school dudes or the dudes from, like, 10 years ago or 15 years ago. What a lot of people have to get into their minds, this is the new Knicks. This is how these boys play. And we do have some spirit of the old Knicks, where we give away games that we're not supposed to, where we could be winning a whole game, beating the crap out of teams, and we just give away the third or the fourth quarter, or we give away the fourth quarter. But I hope next season these new Knicks get into their killer instance where we close teams out before halftime even come and we know we got the game. Okay, I know the game ain't over until the zeros end up on the clock, but we need to stop playing with people. It's like no, stop playing with our food, Knicks. Like, because if we want to win a championship, we got to stop playing. We can't be giving nobody no inch. Nothing. Nothing at all. Like, it's the Knicks over any other team in the NBA. I don't care about no other team in the NBA. It's New York Knicks. Orange and blue skies always. NYC. The Big Apple. Care about none of them other NBA teams? No. So we got to really play how we are. Like, come on. It's New York City basketball. That may be NBA, right? But when has New York City basketball ever been soft? Nah. Knicks need to get a little street ball spirit, man, or a little, for real. Because New York City basketball ain't soft. If we're going to ask the question of who got the best basketball players in the United States, I'm going to say New York. I don't care how people be talking all that nonsense about how New York dudes like to dribble and all of that. Yeah, we like to dribble, but you know what? A lot of us can shoot too. Okay? A lot of New York City dudes, we could dribble and all that. We like to dribble. We like fancy dribble, but we could shoot. And you know what? A lot of us know basketball. So the Knicks, y'all better play like the city. Because we ain't soft in New York when it comes to basketball. For real. Because there are a lot of places in the United States that got good, like, let me see. We'll go like this. You got New York. You got Cali. You got Chicago. You got Atlanta. You got Baltimore. Those are just a few places where you got some good ballers at, and I'm talking male and female. Okay, Florida got some good ballers too. Don't sleep on Florida. Florida got some good ballers. Oh, man, let me not play as people know both of the Carolinas. Okay, North Carolina and South Carolina. Alabama. Indiana. Because people be, when people say that New York, I used to hate hearing that, and I still kind of hate hearing it till this day. When people talk about New York, dudes only dribble in New York, like we only about dribble. Nah, man, nah. But it's so funny though. Like if New York was all about the dribble, I seen a lot of people that's playing basketball, whether it was in high schools, colleges, or professional. Seen a lot of people take New York City style dribbling. Hmm? 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 Okay. So like that's when people say stuff like that, it don't really matter to me and it don't really matter to real New Yorkers. That ball. Okay? Because real New Yorkers that ball study basketball and play it and talk about it. Mm. It should make me laugh when some people be talking about basketball and you ain't play it, or you ain't even never play it. You don't know about the pain. You don't know about the glory. But you can surely have your opinion on the sport, though. And these the people that get paid for it. Yeah, sure. I don't like listening to certain people on like ESPN talking about basketball because a lot of them be having their biased opinion and they ain't never play a day in their life. You know? Shoot. And a lot of them on ESPN, they don't care about the Knicks. You know, a lot of them like shit. I don't care. And Charles and Chuck was dissing on the Knicks too, but don't worry. We gonna surprise Charles and what's today? What's today? Shaq and Charles, you know. As Chuck, I was meeting Charles Barkley, but I'm talking about Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley. They was talking their little nonsense about the Knicks on Inside the NBA, you know. And give it up to them too, though, for real, cause like, real shit. All jokes aside, give it up to Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Ernie, and Kenny Smith. For real, because inside the NBA, they've been a team for a good while, and shoot, like, I wouldn't say they one of the best, like, you know, basketball sports teams, but when it comes to watching NBA sometimes in certain games, you know, and you watching inside the NBA, like, I know for me, like, you want to hear them four talking, you know? Charles, Chuck, Ernie, and Shaq. Like, you want to hear them four, you know? So, give it up to them, you know? Shout out to them. And I heard they supposed to be going somewhere else, having a new show somewhere else, but I actually forgot where they're going, where they're taking it to. But wherever they go, you know, I'll watch it because it's going to be doing with the NBA, you know. And, well, I guess the Giants, too, are getting ready for the regular season. And, man, my estimation of what the Giants may play for this season, I may think they may go 50-50, you know. Russell Wilson, he gonna take us far as he could take us. You know, Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart, and the whole Giants squad. The Giants gonna take the Giants how far they could take the team. You know, like, I ain't gonna say like, yeah, it's on rebuilding, but the Giants is trying to get their swag back right now. They trying to get their aura back, you know, and I'm gonna ride with the team, you know. I'm gonna ride with the Giants, you know. Don't matter. I ain't gonna act like I'm running over on, like, you know, the green side to go ride with the Jets. You know, like, no matter what people say, it's still Yankees, Knicks, and Giants, you know, that run New York. Okay? Those three teams run New York professional sports. The Yankees, the Knicks, and the Giants. All other teams are just sub teams in New York. You know? Shout out to the other teams, you know? Much respect to them. No disrespect to them. But these are the three big dogs, you know, in professional sports when it comes to New York. You know? Like, Knicks ain't bringing championships since 73. You know, it's okay. Yankees, my can't remember the last time we won the championship, but it was in the it was in the 2000s too. You know, so and I believe this year, if we keep on pace, you know, we'll win this year too. You know, because it's still Yankees all the way. You know, I just hope when the playoffs come, you know, Judge really wake up. Jazz, do your thing, you know, the whole Yankees, you know, do your thing, you know, we need to really, you know, lock down on our defense, you know, because I don't like no team scoring on us anyway, for real. I don't like no team scoring on us on the Yankees, because I always say, man, like, I love basketball and that's my favorite sport, but when it comes to watching the Yankees and the Knicks, a baseball game hurts worse to me than a basketball loss, you know? And I don't know, we just got to tighten up, you know? Because I know a lot of people be looking for the Yankees to hit home runs and all that, but to be honest with you, I ain't even on that this year with us. I ain't on the home runs. Let's just get into the playoffs safely and let's win it. You know? Forget it, for real, because we need number 28. You know? The city need another trophy for our baseball team. You know, the Knicks got to do their joint. And to be politically correct, and to be very honest, after the Knicks win the championship in New York, yes, let's go Brooklyn Nets, you know? Let's go Brooklyn Nets, because they are the next professional basketball team in New York, and the owner and the president and the general manager of the Brooklyn Nets really need to stop playing games, because see, this is what people ain't saying too. Stop playing games with the Nets and give them people on their team that could represent for the team in the city. Okay? Don't make it where you turning Brooklyn into a basketball town where that's where you sending people where you don't care about teams no more like it used to be for the Grizzlies back in the days. Don't do that. For real, because they still a professional team in America. They still a professional team. You know? And it's New York. So, like, shoot, I ain't gonna make nobody diss on the Brooklyn Nets if you really want to be serious. No. Because outside of the New York Knicks, I don't even think no other team going even like be open to like get any respect over the Knicks or the Nets. For real. Brooklyn to Manhattan, man, it's New York. You know, Knicks and Nets. We maybe go through our certain little what's the name, you know, basketball traumas and wars, but at the end of the day, we share the city together, you know? And what? 15 minutes across that bridge, you know? So, It's, like, and even with the Mets, shout out to the Mets, because I don't got their record on my head right now, but the last time I was checking the records, the Mets and the Phillies are fighting for the NL East, and that's good. That's good. If the Mets take it all the way to the playoffs and be the top dogs in the NL, and we be the top dogs in the AL, let's go. Because I would love to see a Subway Series. And I'm Yankees ride or die hard, but Subway Series is going to be something that probably the whole New York will be happy, right? But everybody else would be mad. But it's all good if everybody else mad, you know? New York is still Metropolis. New York is still Big Gotham. New York is still like the center of a lot. That's why I don't care what nobody say. New York don't need to copy off of nothing and nobody. New York is original flavor. We got original style. I don't care all this new stuff people be talking about, like with these new arguments people want to be making up nowadays of who created hip-hop or who was there when hip-hop started. Let me tell you something. With that argument of me stepping into, like, even saying something about that argument, I don't listen to nobody that wouldn't even, like, really overstand the situation, because if you talk about you love real hip-hop, you ain't going to even argue, okay, about something that's simple-minded as that. Because me, when I talk about I love real hip-hop, I'm talking about I love the bombers. Okay, I love the B-girls. I love the B-boys. I love the DJs. I love the real hip-hop. Okay, I love the battle rapping from the street, the real battle rapping. Okay? I love the MCs. And I love the knowledge that takes us up to the point where we got wisdom to move around. So, like, when people talk about they love hip-hop, you don't love hip-hop, man. You love certain things for your own benefit. Okay? Because hip-hop ain't about that stupidity joint, man. Hip-hop is about bringing stuff together. Hip-hop is about growing. Hip-hop is about knowing. Hip-hop is about much more than what they be telling people. So when I be talking about when I see people talk about, excuse me for that, when I see people talk about what's real hip-hop and they love hip-hop, no. You love what you love for your own benefit. Because I get to the point where if you look at Jamaican selectors, or I would say reggae selectors, let me correct myself. When you look at, it got certain people like Mighty Crown, okay? They're from Asian descent, but they play selector music. Right again. You feel me? So, like, when you talk about hip-hop now, man, I be seeing people talk about, like, what's real hip-hop? What's real hip-hop is real from, like, all of the elements. Real hip-hop is love. Okay? Like, hip-hop ain't hate. And if you talking about, like, we battling against each other, whether it's DJs or whether it's B-boys or B-girls or graffiti artists, you battling to show each other, to make each other better. That's what you battling for. to upgrade each other's skills. Because if he got on the mic and just kick a 16, you're about to kick a wicked 16 as well. But then you looked at him kicking one, you said, hold on, let me kick something else. And it's upgrading, or you break dance, and then the other person come in break dancing, and it's like y'all throwing good energy off of each other, not the nonsense, as I say, of people talking about this and that, death and all of that. That ain't hip hop. Don't be like, cause they always talk about, like, people get the craziness of when they talk about hip hop came from the streets. That's just people making the stupidity nonsense open up to say that we can do nonsense to each other. Okay? Yes, hip hop came from outside, but it didn't come from no, like, street joint where we beating each other up and then after that, let's go make a record. No. This came out of a lot of kids' struggles, a lot of kids' pains, Yeah, certain kids back then was down with certain gangs and organizations, but hip-hop brought different people together, you know? Brought different organizations together. Okay, so the division that you see nowadays, that's just humans want to play humans. Humans would always play human games. For real. I just give it to you like this. And this is a clue, but it's easy for people to get. How you mad at nature? I'll say it again. How you mad at nature? I'll break it down in some days to come and show you how sick some humans are. Well, thank you for everybody that joined my live. Blessed to you. Have a great night. Have a great morning. Have a great evening. Have a great life. Jah love. Jah bless. Thank you.